This is New York Nightly News with Chuck Scarborough, live on New York Nonstop.
Now, with the struggling economy and the government running up record-breaking debt, how can you protect your money in these tough times? Joining us is bankruptcy attorney David Shive with tips on how to get your finances in shape. So, David, how do you give yourself a financial checkup? What do you do?
Best thing to do is sit down at the kitchen table with a pad and pen, list your debts, list your income, and see if you have any money left over. If you're borrowing from Peter to pay Paul, if you're borrowing from your retirement, if you're borrowing from friends, it's time to see perhaps a bankruptcy attorney.
Do a lot of people you see not really understand how bad the situation is until they sit down and actually look at the numbers? They're just sort of struggling along without knowing?
That's the problem. They continue to dig a deeper hole, and instead of really living up to what they need to do and see their options, they just make things worse.
So what's the first step in trying to get out of that deeper hole?
Well, you need to basically look what your options are. There's a possibility you may want to try to call your credit card companies. That's really only a temporary solution in most cases. And you might find yourself with a 1099 for forgiveness of debt at the end of the year. The best thing to do if you find that you're really in a hole and you can't get out of it quickly, whether it be increase in income or win the lotto or something like that, you really need to see a professional. And if you're in a worse situation where you might be behind on your mortgage or something like that, then we have to get serious. We need to sit down and really take a look at your situation.
So it's not always a good idea to try to deal with it yourself, to deal with your creditors, talk to the bank, talk to the credit card companies yourself. You should get a professional involved.
Absolutely.
What damage can you do if you do it yourself?
Well, one thing is if you go into a debt management plan, they have great advertising, but most of them are scams. There are legitimate credit counseling situations out there, but the debt management firms, they want you to pay them, and at the same time, you have to continue to pay your credit cards. Of course, they don't tell you that. They have great advertising now.
Yeah, they sure do. It's all the time, and in this day and age, you're seeing it constantly.
It's all over the place.
It's a mirage. It certainly is. When is it appropriate to file for bankruptcy?
Well, either when you are unable to keep up on your debts or you're just paying the minimum. More importantly, we're very active, and my new firm is Shab and Fleischman. We're very active in the mortgage problem, where if you are behind on your mortgage, you really need to sit down and do a financial analysis. Do you want to keep the house? Can you keep the house? Do we want to look at a possible strategic default where we surrender the house, which is going to be a big wave coming up? Recently, in fact, with these mortgage problems, we have been getting rid of mortgages in the Chapter 13 setting. And if not, if you have mortgage arrears, we can cure them in a Chapter 13.
And how many cases when somebody comes to you with a problem with a mortgage, where the bank says they're going to be foreclosed, have you been able to find something in the paperwork that will salvage the situation for the homeowner?
Well, when you say find something in the paperwork, we almost find something wrong in every mortgage proof of claim. And unsecured debts also. If we can't cure the mortgage arrears through the bankruptcy, we can look for a modification through the bankruptcy. Loss mitigation is called. We can also use the HAMP government program on occasion. We've been fairly successful with that.
All right, David Shive, thank you very much for coming in.
Thanks
for
for
your
having me.
advice. Appreciate it.